every single one of you.
I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
This is my home. They're gonna need a wrecking ball to take me out of here.
Good timing, everybody, whether it's morning, evening, or anywhere in between. Welcome to unRekt Traders. Today we're going to take a look at Bitcoin on the monthly, and we are on the machine currently, and we have a new month. So once we get into the Nexus, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but because we do have a new month, pretty much exactly what I said would happen in the last Bitcoin episode, but we had the 10 coming down into that range, 50 and the 20, which 50 is the aqua, 20 is the white. So these are still above that plus 100. So what are we expecting to happen? Well, we're expecting price to want to come down to this 10 here, which is green at the 46,300. However, because we have the 20 and the 50 above the range, likelihood, this body will come down to the support on the 50, likely close above the 54.7 by the end of this month, or any time during this month, I guess. And there is a possibility that we'll get that wick down into the 10 here. Now, if we do get that 10 down, that'll make for an amazing long, because the body itself will have to close above this range here. Coming into the weekly. On the weekly itself, the 10 has gone into trend to the downward direction. It's below the minus 100. We have the 50 just holding as very weak support, but then we also have the purple 200 and the yellow 100 holding as strong support. So even if price does come down to here, the wick can go lower, but the body itself will close above this 53,200. In the last Bitcoin, I basically said that price will want to come down into that 53,000 range by likelihood next month. That's kind of where we are now. So we're kind of coming into that range now. Now we do have the mean reversion on the 20, pretty much almost there now. But now we're also going to be fighting the 50 resistance here on the aqua, which is at 58,800. So this week, are we going to come down to that 53,000? Well, it's possible with a wick, but the body itself should technically close above the resistance. It doesn't have to, just because it is such a, it's right on the tip of, you could almost say that's actually in, to be honest with you. So it doesn't actually have to close above it. It likely will, but definitely will not close this week below the body itself anyway. Or I guess you could say the weekly close will not close below the 53,400. Will it come to it? It's very possible. And it's also possible that we could wick down right to that 49,000 range. So the shelf itself is sitting at that, pretty much at that 53.3 anyway, 53, let's just say 53,000. So likelihood is we do come into this shelf. We'll see if this last bearish candle here can hold before we had the break of structure. If this does hold, then we can kind of try and push back up. On the daily itself, we are in trend on a lot of these. The 50, the 10, the 20 are all in trend to that downward direction. Now that 20 is getting pretty low here at the 281. So it has come into that second standard deviation now. Starting to push the third. Price does want to come to 49,400. But like I said, we're pushing those 3.2s. So likelihood is this 10 will start to lift up now. And when this 10 starts to lift up, then we have the possibility to likely come back up to resistance here, or up into this last bullish candle before the break of structure to that downward direction. So we are expecting price to come to that 49.5, 49.6. Again, probably not right away, just because of how the weekly's playing out. And then from there, likely coming back up to the resistive level here, or a little bit higher up to the resistance on the 200, and then push down further. On the 4 hour, everything is in trend to the downward direction. We are pushing that 3.2, so the trend is strong. And then we also have the 10 and 20 just below that range. So we do still have pretty strong resistance at that 59.4. We'll see how this candle does close. And if the 10 comes into this range, then we can see the push up to that 20, try to get in and up into that 50. The 50 aqua here at 60, let's just say 61,000 is going to be pretty strong resistance as of right now on the 4 hour. So we'll see how it plays out. But as of right now, we are expecting, we'll will price move up? More than likely it'll move up, try and rebalance the last previous candles that have dropped down. Breaking structure, we've taken liquidity from the 59.8, looking pretty far back. So we have taken out that liquidity, so look at coming back in, filling in these structures before continuation to the downward direction. So we are bearish on the 4 hour, well, pretty well a lot of the lower time frames were bearish. So, you know, just rebalance the candles and then take out liquidity again to that downward direction to that 53,000. Coming into the Nexus, we do have the new monthly open. So on the monthly open, I'm just going to bring up that monthly range. So like I said in the previous video as well, this is going to be a high probability area to come into, looking for our shorts to take out the equal lows. And then that is exactly what we've done. We've come down into it, almost to the pivot itself with the monthly S1 here. Will it come to the monthly S1? Likely. Now the advantage we have with this bigger drop, with this minus 5% that we've gotten over today, is that we do now have a naked pivot. Now because we opened up below the monthly, we expect price to come to the previous month low or to the monthly S1, which we've more or less gotten. Hopefully we can get right to that monthly S1, see if it holds. But regardless, we have the naked monthly here. Now it doesn't mean we have to hit it this month, but if we do, we are looking for that lower range of 8.6% to the pivot itself at 11. Now we won't be bullish on the monthly until we break the 60, let's just say 66,000 area, and then we come into resistive right away into this monthly here, and then we'd really have to get above the 69.7 to become bullish again. So again, lots of resistance above us. We are trending in that downward direction on the lower time frames, and as far as I'm concerned, we're still looking for that 53,000, which is more or less this lower pivot on this monthly. If we do fall through this lower monthly pivot, or range I should say, then the next one below that, I'll just bring up a couple extra monthlies here. So the next level down below that would be that 43,000. And if we go truly bearish, we have this monthly naked from December of 23, sitting at that 38,000 range basically. So this is still naked, and we just came back into this naked one here. I think that's it really. I don't think there's much sense talking about the weekly. I talked about it in the last one. It's pretty much played out exactly how I said it was going to. And you know, I said basically we hit the previous week low, try to come in for the weekly S1, and then we came into that pivot. So it's kind of pretty much what we're looking for on the monthly as of right now. Couldn't get above that weekly range, and then when we came back down, then you're looking for that weekly S1, S2, and we actually came right pretty well down to that weekly S3 perfectly. So all right, so that's what I got for Bitcoin. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hit the like and subscribe, it helps the channel. And we'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.
Visit unRekt.me and download our free powerful indicators. And join our community of traders in our Discord server and get full access to the Machine Suite Indicators, the Nexus Suite Indicators, and the Nexus Screener.